This is Dr. Jeanne Schul with the unconscious as creative resource, creating dances from dreams. As dancer, choreographer, and artistic director, my way of exploring ideas and feelings in motion has been the way I process. In contrast to an introvert's more private inward path, my extroverted focus involved staging dance concerts that were shared with hundreds of people annually. I was artistic director and choreographer of a college dance company, which was the locus of my work, my profession, and simultaneously the medium for my personal journey and transformation. Over the years, powerful somatic dreams raise questions for me. What do you do with nightmares that continuously bombard your sleep? Where do you go to decode the words you see your own hand writing in a dream when you have no idea what they mean? Or how do you deal with a dream lover who is much more compelling than anyone in life? To simply assign these dreams to paper and discuss them with experts was unsatisfying. So I began to create dances from my dreamtime visitations. I discerned that moving dream dances out into the world involved an important process of decision making. I had to release that which was completely private associations and focus on those images that were still particular but more universal in nature, without becoming too general or losing the passion of the inspiration. In this way, the process of creating the dance maintained its foothold in the unconscious from whence it sprang, while making the images accessible to the larger audience. By embodying the central image that dream researcher Ernest Hartman discusses, the dancer transforms the dream image into a dance image, connecting the audience to the universal language of metaphor and symbol, which Jeremy Taylor asserts is central to all dreams. This is the unifying factor that enables us to connect with each other's dream images, regardless of cultural or social differences. This is the aspect of dreams that allows artists to connect with viewers by communicating through imagery. It is as though the artist is dreaming the culture into deeper awareness of the many possibilities accessible during dream time by making their dream art available to the public. So how do we determine what the central image is? One of the ways of considering this is to pick out the most sensate, the most powerful image in the dream. It's usually the part of the dream that we remember the very best. It never changes, no matter how many times we tell the dream story. And it has lasting emotional impact, and it again holds the energy. That indicates it is the central image. So when the central image is an object, in this dream dance, which became my dissertation, the barrel, which is now containing the woman underneath it, inside of it, stayed center stage for all 15 minutes of the dream dance because it was the central image. It held the power and the energy of the dream. In this dance, When Last I Dreamed, actually the house was very important. So in this image of a Tudor house, you get that sense. There's also, of course, those dreams that involve animals. And Steve Eisenstadt tells us in dream tending, always follow the animal in the dream, that the animal will show us the instinctual energy. And in this case, snakes were visiting quite frequently for me. It can also be the beloved. It may be a person you are in relationship with. It may be someone that you feel attracted to, but may not even know that you have the interest. It may be someone you are no longer in relationship with. But these images that I'm sharing offered that energy of deep and significant attraction. And the energy of this dream, this tango, was working with a setting of night and moonlight to help create a little more of that high energy. So Jung supports this perspective of the modern artist seeking to create art out of the unconscious. And he points out regarding creativity that, like all psychic life, the creative process stems from the unconscious. So, my research in creating dances from dreams is interdisciplinary in nature, with the intent to build bridges between psyche and soma, inner and outer worlds, depth psychology as a practice, and postmodern dance as an art form. The artistic exploration involved the process of creating, rehearsing, and staging dream dance performances. There's many different types of dreams that can offer these creative ideas. Although nightmares may seem a surprising choice, they offer a lot of potential. Many scientists have talked about problem-solving dreams, taking them to the next level in their experiments. Somatic dreams are those that are very body-based. Transitional dreams, sometimes those with snakes, offer images of how we're changing. Of course, Jung talks about compensatory dreams, archetypal dreams, and dreams of individuation. So, as we talk about nightmares, in my explorations, I found that nightmares offer enormous creative potential. Whitmont and Pereira in Dreams Portal to the Source describe nightmares as dreams that terrify the dreamer and usually constitute urgent messages from the guiding self of the dreamer about hitherto unheard, denied, or inadequately considered material. Nightmares come as frightening intruders into the habitually comfortable psychological space of the dream ego. And nightmares serve multiple purposes for the psyche. They may expose outgrown limitations or constitute invitations to develop the dreamer's fears that they risk to venture into. They may also serve to support the death of the currently held ego attitude, thereby pressing the dreamer toward further personal development. So in these nightmare dances, certainly the issue is that of facing the shadow and dealing with a power differential. Again, the set always in this particular dance included that barrel, but also the costuming was quite significant because it was very stark. The lighting was very stark because we were in this nightmare zone. So we'll come into the research question for this dissertation. And the first one was, what is the lived experience of embodying dream images in choreography? More images of costumes confining the dancer. The second research question, how might this process contribute to our understanding of dreams as a creative resource, which of course is our focus today? More images of intrusion. In Women Who Runs with the Wolves, Estes talks about the dark man of the psyche. In this case, in this dance, we made him a being outside of the particular dancer. But the idea is that this is the kind of animus that this dancer was holding. Research question 3 was, what does enhancing the relationship with the unconscious by embodying dream images offer the choreographer, dancers, and audience? So the next phase of dream dances were those of transition, that liminal in-between place, no longer, in this case, stuck in the barrel. She's been allowed out, but not quite there as far as individuation, as far as coming into wholeness. But the invitation of the sensual was a way of physically demonstrating that idea of no longer numb. Sometimes the nightmare state is not so much terrified as just numbing out. And then also in transition, coming to grips with the persona. So naming the veil or the mask that we wear. Again, this idea of the veil between realms. Archetypal dreams offer us a connection with a divine source. And in Dream Body, Arnold Mindell defines the big dream as the life-changing dream, which offers a huge opportunity and opening to life never experienced before. Big dreams or archetypal dreams have a numinous quality, which can be both terrifying and compelling. And here we see this idea of the numinous can be experienced when we embody these archetypal dreams. Again, inviting in the body, the awareness of somatic dreams can also invite in this sense of sacred. Because these dreams take us beyond our personal experience into the history and mythology of all humanity. Archetypal dreams offer this connection to the collective unconscious. Depicting them in a public forum, such as a dance concert, extends their impact beyond the personal into the community, so that others can experience their power. This dance dreaming of divinity, of deities, reflects the many goddess dreams I had during this period. And again, the use of set, but also lighting to create a sense of the dreamscape, and always costuming. Inviting this idea of moving toward or reaching toward that which is divine. There is a relationship, I discovered, between dreams and dance. I met the dream image with a dance image, much like Jung tells us that the face we turn towards Psyche is the face Psyche turns toward us. So the image that defined the dream drove the dance. By working with the dream through dance improvisation initially, I was able to explore the dream image as a nonverbal form of active imagination. And then by setting this choreography on my dancers, the dance transports the inner life into the outer realm and holds the potential of presenting our sense of self in the public domain. What is ordinarily an introverted awareness of self becomes a key aspect of the dance performance. In this way, the audience has a window into the choreographer's movement toward personality disintegration, transformation, evolution, or individuation. The dancers and the audience members indicated that they benefited from the visceral embodied approach to addressing the unconscious. And by dancing archetypal images, that which was impossible to name became less overwhelming. And the impact of the archetype was extended beyond the personal into the communal. Again, the imagery from the dream, you have fog rising, you have that Tudor house, and then you have the pairing. The dances included tango, salsa, and ballroom dance. And the pairing included men and women, women and women, men and men. This image of the open-heartedness was, again, a piece of the nonverbal communication being offered. And when we think of unity, we have connection, but we also have the individuals in their own spaces. And again, that image of open-heartedness coming through. When we're talking about individuation, this research was a conversation between depth psychology and dance performance, and it mindfully tapped the unconscious for images and discussions about the process of transforming the unconscious material into a dance concert. The intention was to offer an intuitive guide for negotiating the terrain between the dream image and the creative process that consciously dialogued with the unconscious through dance improvisation. And again, the props, the setting was as significant as the dancer's movement, particularly here when we see these circles as images of wholeness. What was most relevant about the creative dissertation was that it involved the embodied manner in which depth psychological material was explored and communicated non-verbally to the community. Again, more images of wholeness, of oneness. Instead of the snake, we have the dancer's arms and legs coming into connection for this imagery. Again, connecting with the environment, the human body, the body of the earth, using lighting sometimes to depict stark, terrifying settings, romantic moonlit settings. So as we work with art, we want to bring in all aspects of the dream. And offer a way of connecting our individual personalized experience with others. In this case, my dreams I shared with my dancers, and they shared their performance with the greater audience. So thank you for joining us.